I am so glad that you decided to spend this time with me. I want to congratulate you. If you're watching this video, I know that you have a vision of the kind of mother that you want to be for your child. You have a way of being able to think about this that is rare in this world. You're able to consider that the being that you're going to nurture in the first few months and years of his or her life is going to take from you a map, a way of looking at the world that can be either very supportive or very unsupportive of that child becoming the very best human being that he or she could be. Right now, what I want to do is spend some time with you on some of the things that I believe are most important as you do this preparation. Some of the things that I see missing from almost every bit of information, every book, every wisdom tradition that is commonly available in Western culture today for preparing mothers to be the very best mothers that they can be. I know that you have some big dreams, and I also think that there's a very good chance that you have some questions about how those dreams are going to fit together. You probably also have some questions about how you can make the decisions that you need to make for this baby. Maybe how you're going to do it in conjunction with your partner. Maybe how you're going to do it with having all the other pieces of your life still going the way that they need to be. Your work, the way that you give your gifts in the world now before you have a child in your home. And I want to encourage you to keep asking those questions. Now, you can be fearful about it. You can let them get you clenching and be uptight, or you can make another choice. I will tell you something that I hope you will take to heart. You only have to have two things to deserve anything that you want in this world, whether it's the kind of mothering experience you want to have, or the kind of home you want to set up for that child, or anything else that you want. And those things are that first you have to be able to detect it. You have to be able to notice it. You have to be able to have an awareness of it in the world. And the other thing is you have to be able to appreciate it. If you are able to think of a goal, if you're able to think of a vision of mothering and being with your child the way you want to, while you keep all the other parts of your life together, if you can even conceive of that, it's possible for you to have it. And the resources that you need to bring that into being, to bring that into reality, are in your world, within your reach right now. So please keep hold of those high visions that you have. You probably know this, but if you don't, I'm going to tell you. If you move forward on this path the way that you're planning, if you're watching this video, if you have a child, if you bring a child into your home and bring that child up, you are bringing up one of the children who's going to change the world. It's just the way it is. And if you think about it, you'll know that that's true. Think about the world around you. Think about the number of changes, the volume of change that's happening. That child is going to be a part of that. And you have an influence that is immense. You have the ability to help that child to become a part of a change that literally can save this planet. You've probably heard the expression that you can't solve a problem with the kind of thinking that created it. Well, the problems that we have in our world can't be solved with the thinking that created them. But the children that are coming up in this next generation have the capacity for a completely different kind of thinking. And you have the ability to help them to bring that into being. You have the ability to support them to create a world in a way that you and I can't even imagine right now. And what a gift is that? How much more exciting could a journey be than to be part of that with a child, to be part of their support system, to be able to do that amazing work? Now, I want you to think about your preparation in a very particular way right now. And this is one of those things that I don't hear anybody else talking about, and one of the reasons that I made this video for you. You probably know that a lot of my background, my master's degree, decades of working with children and some of the decades of working with parents is in the field of Montessori education. Dr. Montessori wrote a book called The Absorbent Mind, and that title alone is one of the most important contributions that she made to this world, not just to education, but to you as a potential mother-to-be, to every parent in this world. Your child, particularly up to the age of 6, has a very different way of walking through this world than you do. That child will walk through this world just taking in impressions, taking in information. Think about what you know about the way that children learn language. Think about the way that nobody teaches them grammar. Nobody teaches them where a noun and a verb goes in a sentence. They just absorb it. They absorb it from listening to you. This is one of the reasons you've probably heard mothers say, "Oh my goodness, I hear me coming out of my child's mouth." That's exactly what happens. Now, people in the Montessori field talk about that around language. They talk about it around preparing the senses. But there's something I want to talk to you about today that they don't talk about. That child absorbs the way you see the world. That child absorbs the way you live in your body. If you have tightness in your body, that's what that infant is going to receive in your arms. Now, it's a little bit scary because, yeah, you're their world, but you have so much ability to make the most of that. Think of the love, think of the possibility point of view you can give those children, you can give that child in those first few months. You have such power. Think of the work that you've done. Think of the work you've done on yourself. Think of the forgiveness. Think of the processes that you've done to reorganize your belief systems so that they are about the possibility and the abundance of the world. What if you could save your child all of that? Well, I'm here to tell you you can. Now, I'm going to give you a little piece to help you with your own work, no matter where we go from here, on a journey together or not. You've probably done some different processes. Maybe you've done some formal forgiveness exercises. Maybe you've done something called tapping. It's an EFT, emotional freedom technique. Maybe you've done other things. I want to give you a secret that a lot of people don't realize about how to make the most of those kinds of processes. And the secret is that you need to set up a little loop. You need to set an intention. Maybe one of your intentions is to be completely at peace with your hunger. Be able to eat from a place where you just flow with an awareness of what your body needs, and you eat that, and you stop when you're full, and you bring the food into your home that you need, and it's just a graceful dance. Maybe that is your vision of how you want to have a relationship with food. You can do that. And the way to do it most powerfully, quickly, with the most ease, is to set that intention and then pull some things out of your little toolkit. If you do tapping, do some tapping. If you have other tools, if you do yoga, if you do Tai Chi or other movement activities, if you dance with other women, set that intention and then do those things as you feel. Use your intuition, use your bodily knowing, and do some of those things in service of that way of being in the world. And then visit it again. You'll find it's changed. Almost guarantee you will. And if you keep using your tools in that loop, visit your intention, feel it in your body. Feel what it would be like to have that relationship with food. Feel what it would be like to be completely confident that you have everything you need to be a mother. Feel what it would be like to have all the financial resources you need to mother your child with ease. Feel what that would be like, and then feel the gap. Where is that space between the vision you have for the mother you want to be, the woman you want to be, and where you are now. And then in that gap, do some of those movements. Do some of that tapping. Do some of those forgiveness exercises. And involve your body as much as you can. And then visit it again. If you're doing that and you're using physical movement, you will change. You will deepen yourself and you will expand. You'll become more the mother that you want to be in this world. Now there's another piece that's kind of embedded in that, and that is your bodily awareness. Now, I know as I look around, I see so many women struggling. They struggle with choices, they struggle with what things to purchase for their children, but more importantly, they struggle moment to moment. Do I tell them no? Do I let him have that? Do I do that for him? Do I do that for her? Do I show her how to do it? How do I do it? And why won't she stop crying? And what do I do to make her stop crying? Those are the kinds of things that I see parents struggle with every day. And there is only one way to end that struggle, and that is to engage and develop a bodily way of knowing. You will not get to those answers. You won't get to that moment-to-moment understanding of what your baby needs, what your toddler needs, any other way. You can't figure it out with your head. You can't act from your history, from your own experiences without filters. You have to have a bodily knowing. And the best way to get there, the best way to get that confirmed sense of what's the best thing to do in any particular moment with your child is to hang around deep women who have that. Some of you may have seen some of the content that I've shared. I look for that. I look for that in our culture. I look for the women who can embody that. If you have those deep women around you, you will be able to create a context, a library of understanding that you can bring to bear in your moment-to-moment choices with your children. Now, there's another developmental piece besides that understanding of the absorbent mind and how children just bring all that in that I want you to take from this video, because I know this may be the only time we chat. And if we do, I want to give you what I feel like is going to serve you the most. I want to give you the things that are most likely for me to be able to pass on to you that will serve those children who are going to change the world. And the next piece has to do with how you look at what your children need. It also has to do with who you are. Besides them just taking that in that absorbent mind period, you need to understand that how you perceive the world and how safe and whole and supported you feel in the world is going to influence every decision you make with your children. And if you are not feeling confident, if you're not feeling supported, if you're fearful that you're going to do the wrong thing, there is a very good chance that those fears are what's going to inform your choices. And that's not going to serve your children. I watch women and I watch them giving their children everything they think they want. And it comes from a very loving place. It comes from a place of just wanting the best for their children. But it comes from a place of lack. It comes from a place of, I didn't get what I wanted. I don't get the things that I need, so I'm going to make sure my child does. And here's the deal. You can't do it. You can't do it. You cannot give them what they need. All you can do is support them to get it for themselves. All you can do is support them to learn what they want to learn and develop the skills that are going to give them what they need. You can't give them self-esteem. You can give them unconditional love, and they absolutely will need that unconditional love to have the esteem they need to give their gifts in the world, but you can't give them the esteem. Only they can do that. And if you don't understand that at a very deep level, you're going to empower the opposite of self-esteem. You're going to empower the idea that somebody else has to do things for me. You're going to empower the idea that I can't do that for myself. I have to wait for someone to tell me how to do it or schedule it or help me. And that's not what you want. Now, one of the things that I have thought about as I look out into the world and I see what's happening and I see where mothers are doing amazing things and where they are struggling, is I see the ways that they keep themselves from that bodily knowing I was telling you about. And one of them is exhaustion. Not talking about tiredness. If you're going to bring an infant into your home, I hope you know tiredness is just kind of part of the package for part of your time together, those first few weeks for sure, and maybe those first few months, kind of depending on your family circumstances and the other support you have. But you do not have to be exhausted. You have the power to arrange your life and to arrange your mindset and your habits so that you can be the best mother you can be, and you can't do it if you're exhausted. If you don't have energy, you will never be able to make the choices at the level you need to. If you do, they can flow. They can be the most easeful, natural thing that you ever do. Motherhood is a natural process. So why would you need help? Why do you even need to watch this video? Well, here's the deal. It has to do with all those options. Centuries ago, we didn't have those options. Whatever culture you were in, the models of mothering were all around you. And most of them, in a lot of ways, were pretty healthy. They were what had worked in that culture over time. Well, you don't have that now. You have lots of options. You don't have a model. You have a multitude of models. And the bodily knowing that went with a lot of those earlier cultures, one model programs, one model situations, is missing. You need to find a way to get in touch with your inner knowing. You've got to find a way to have the support that you need to do this with the confidence and the grace that you want. You can live the other parts of your life the way that you want. You can maintain a deep and deepening relationship with your intimate partner while you become the mother that you want to be. If I can be of further service, if the things that I've said to you resonate, if it appeals to you to have an easy flow to this hard work, then it would be my privilege. I would love to spend some time to help you with that. If nothing else, map out that first year. Map out the year before you get pregnant, ideally, or map out the time between now and when your baby's born so that you can make the most of it. And if you would like to see whether we could work together on that, if you would like to have a conversation with me and have me help you map that out, I would love to do that. Please apply. Please let us know that you'd like to spend that time with me.